We are recording on the audio.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Stepping into 2020, Lord.
Stepping in. How did we stepped into 2020 7 months late.
I know.
We
I
should have
know.
stayed in 2020. We should have stayed in October.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
mean
but but this is more efficient, and at least we can still do
is it
the identity boost. Finally, the cat in the suit is back.
there is a part of me that says we have to run the thing for this because before this point, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Eric he's been preaching this to me, but I've been redundant and reluctant to even try it. So once again, just like how we got the video started on this because of Eric, we're now doing this through Zoom and we're getting this information out to
Okay,
you through Eric.
to be fair to the people, bro. Neither one of us wanted to do this. It's not the same as us sitting next to each other, elbowing each other in the arm when we disagree. It's not the same.
We wanted to be able to fight each other,
Yeah,
and now hey, we got the booth, so now we're gonna be able to do that. So
yeah,
let's clap sync
yeah.
for the first time in 2020. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of the Identity Booth. And we are bringing you quarantined Identity Booth. We bringing you back. Now, all y'all know, he is one of the original hosts of the show, but I always like doing introductions because it's been such a long time. We have a celebrity in the house.
Escobar Caesar has returned.
Now,
Yeah,
I'll let the boy Wonder, introduce himself because he's, once again, if you don't know, you need to go back like 50 episodes.
yeah,
You'll
man.
find
It's been
out.
a long time, brother. Like, and mainly because we've been stubborn and not wanting to do Zoom. But after watching everybody else do it, we were just like, screw it. We might as well. We
Might
like
as well jump on the train.
Yeah, we are very, very late on the train, but it is what it is. I mean, we're 4 months in the Rona season and 4 months too late into doing Zoom calls. And I have a paid account and have had a paid account for a year, so that's shame on me. But nevertheless, the Boy Wonder is back in the booth in HD,
Yeah.
hopefully, for y'all viewing pleasure. And I hope this audio quality comes out as good as we want it because we got a lot of catching up to do.
We do. And really what it comes down to that I feel a lot of people aren't inherently aware of is that as this started as a get out of free jail card for me, and Eric jumped on board because he has a bunch of ideas, and as you guys will find out throughout this conversation and through our future conversations and even a lot of the past, our friendship was kind of mended off of this podcast. Our
Yeah.
friendship is built around this podcast, so I don't get to like pull my punches with Eric because Eric will eat me alive if I don't come correct. Like it's just we hold each other to a certain level, and we elegantly tote that line of you can disagree and still be friends. I think that's a big thing going on right now.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that post a lot on the social medias. All of Eric's information on how to reach him, he's never gonna answer you on social media unless it's like in the comment sections of a video. So don't waste
Yep.
your time. He doesn't care about your feelings. So like, if you want
No.
to, if you really want to make it known to him that you're saying some shit to him, you need to find him on the comment section of our videos. So like, share, subscribe. Since you left us, I think we're at like 150. We were like at 150. We're at 171 right now. So
Oh,
we're
man.
trying to get to the 200 subscribers.
Yes, we're gonna make
I
it
want a
happen.
plaque. I want a
I
plaque on the back of the wall.
I would love a silver plaque, a gold plaque, a platinum plaque from YouTube. That would say something. That's a lot of hard work.
We're constantly comparing ourselves to Abe and Preach, and I feel like we can be better than them. Like
Yes.
all the respect to them, but we can be better than them.
Yeah.
I'm a way better editor than Abe.
I
Like
mean,
I feel like
and you're a way better dresser. Listen, I love those are my dudes.
oh come on
But
now, I'm literally wearing a T-shirt I stole from Toronto.
okay. Well, listen. At least you twist your hair. My man is pause. My man is not a bad looking dude. But I just like, my man, can you just clean your nails and just get a fade for your boy every now and again? Maybe, hey, he don't have to look good for me. I mean, he's still bagging them down, apparently, because they blowing him up in the DM. So, hey, No shade to my guys. Shout out to Abby and Preach, man. We love y'all.
Hey,
y'all
we support you guys.
100%.
I'll put a link down there because I feel like they're popular amongst like black men and black community,
for sure.
But like I don't think a lot of people know about them. So I'll put their link in the description below. I don't think they need it. They're clearly beasts on their own rights, but
100%. It's just pure admiration. It's like we're like an American version of them that nobody knows about. Except
to find.
And his name is Eric Preach. His name's Eric Preach. I'm just Eric. You know what I mean? So.
Damn. We gonna find our footing. Somebody's gonna pay us for this one day. Somebody's gonna pay us for this, or maybe 100. Our kids will just be laughing at this in the future.
Either way, I'm good.
Whichever comes first.
Yeah.
But other than that, how you been? Like, every time you ask this question, you have to give a little bit of a caveat because everyone knows that we're going through a pandemic right now. So besides, the world being on fire, are you good? How's the wife? Hey, Shawnee.
She's outside reading a book. She
okay.
eating the smoothie bowl. She ain't worried about your boy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but as soon as she comes back in, she's gonna want her Shawnee time. So, anyway, nah, man, I've been hanging out, working a lot more from home than I have when I was in the office, which is really crazy, especially when you work in the medical field and you're work a call schedule, and you're the boss. It's a double-edged sword, so my phone doesn't never stop ringing. The first time I'm going to be able to turn my phone off in 2 years will be on Sunday when I go to Cancun. Hey, I'm excited about that.
I'm not happy about this. I'm very upset. I've talked down to him. I've told my mom that Eric is going out of country. She said, "You want me to call him? You want me to talk to him?" And I was
listen, no. I would take what mom said heavily under advisement, but dude, you know better than I do. We work in the same field. We do the same job, and you know how stressful it is. The only difference is you chose not to get into management because you're in school, and I chose to get in management because I refused to go. So it's a bit of a different world. Like when you're not at work, you're not at work. When I'm not at work, I'm still at work. And
no, for sure, I'll never be able to comprehend the stress that you're going through as far as like managing and I don't know any of your employees, so I can speak freely at managing idiots, but for the few competent ones there's not enough. And if I'm speaking from my experience in my group, we have this one dude who's a workhorse here, and I damn near thought he died yesterday, and I was like, if he quits or he's gone, I'm not working here no more, because this is the only guy who gets shit done. Like, I know why I'm here. I'm here to get my check and leave. Like,
100%.
But he loves this place. So I can definitely expect that. I will adhere to you. I will say this also to the masses. Make sure you're wearing your mask.
100%. Don't come to me with that foolishness, man. Do not come to me with that. I live in a free country. I don't have to wear a mask. I'm going to tell you, man, you can kick rocks, bro. I don't have time for that. It's not about the mask being comfortable, and I'm not just saying that because I wear one for work and Hero wears one for work. I'm saying that because, number one, I'm not sick, and I don't want to get sick. Number two, I could be a carrier, and I don't want to infect somebody with a weak immune system. I work out 5-6 times a week. I do cardio. If I had time, I would open my closet right here, and you'd see all the supplements I have in there that I take every day. You guys would be like, oh, if this guy got sick, it's because this was a grade A virus from outer space. I'm telling you, I'm on a strict regimen. I'm on a very strict diet. I have not been sick in over a year, and I want to keep it that way. Even with the Rona going on, I haven't had a sniffle. I haven't had a chill. I haven't had anything. I'm completely okay, and I want to stay that way.
And I mean, obviously, me and you are a special breed. When we read signs that say wash your hands 60 seconds, like we adhere to those things. Like we have proper glove and mask removal. We understand the integral parts of working in a sterile environment. So like we have those pluses, but for everyone else, maintain your social distancing.
I won't say social distance because we're being social at a distance. I would say physical distance. That's a better way. Sure. And to your hand washing thing, Me and Hero are probably some of the biggest hand washing snobs you'll run into. We're not, well, yes, we are. We're kind of germaphobes because we see blood and guts and piss and poop on a regular basis, and we see how disgusting some ORs are. So, if the water's if the water isn't uncomfortable when you wash your hands, it's probably not hot enough, and you need to keep your hands under there, and you need to do it for at least 60 seconds. Rinse,
Got to.
shake
Got to.
off, paper towel, and if they've got hand sanitizer, put hand sanitizer on after you wash. It's just a good practice. Anyway, that's our PSA for
That was our
hygiene.
That was our TED Talk on hygiene. Thanks for coming, guys. Roll credits.
Yeah, boy.
But other than that, so we got the vacation coming up. You and the wife are going out of the country. Be safe, have fun. I don't know. Is it what is there? Like, what's Cancun known for? Is the
Tequila.
cigars?
No, they got Cubans there in Mexico, which is weird. No, they got they're known for tequila. It's one of the big tequila places in the country. I mean, it's not far from a lot of the popular tequila farms. But we're on an all-inclusive resort, man. I'm going to one place. I'm staying. I'm not doing any traveling around. I literally just wanted to lounge outside of the country. It's my first time actually outside of the country. I only got my passport right before Corona came. And it's funny because we got our passports in February. In December of last year, we kind of felt like something was going to happen. We both kind of woke up one day like, we need to get our passport. Something's going to happen. And sure enough, the Rona came. I mean, it's been very, very uncanny. We've been waking up in the middle of the night like, we need to save money, or we need to go buy this, or we need to go do that. And we literally, the 3 months before the Rona happened, we literally made some major changes to our life, which have kind of put us in this position. Plus, we've been paying on this trip since October, and so we were just like, nah, we need to get out for a little bit and go do something else to change the scenery. We're only gonna be gone like 4 or 5 days, and we'll be back, and we'll see how it goes after that. But some friends of ours we were actually supposed to go on the trip with, we ended up having some scheduling conflicts, so they went last week, and they said it was a blast. It wasn't that many people there. The whole physical distancing thing was not really an issue. Everything was separated, and they said these people literally enjoyed serving them, and so it was a great time. And they didn't leave. I mean, everything's all inclusive, so all your meals, spa, gym, pool, drinks, whatever it is you're trying to do, unless it's like some kind of upgrade thing, was already paid for. So you're just there tipping people and having a good time.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can imagine how great it is. I canceled every trip I had for this year. You know, this year I was supposed to go to Africa. This year I was supposed to go back to Toronto. This year we were going to go to Dubai for my mom's. My mom has 3 friends who all turned 60 around the same time, including her, because she turned 60 so they were going to do a trip in Dubai, and the kids were going to just pop up for the weekend, you know, just to show them, because from that point they were then going to fly to go visit Mecca. So all those things got like tossed to the wayside. And obviously with interviewing for school, like everything, that's the one blessing I've gotten, because I don't have to fly to these schools anymore. I can do everything through Zoom, which is like super important to me, because once again, like I don't know, I'm not in the position I was when I was in DC. So spending money on flying into these places, or even if they made us come to these places during a pandemic, it would be really sus for someone like me to be in the healthcare industry, because it's a nerve-wracking thing for me. Like I've even stopped talking to the girls that I was talking to as the pandemic got worse, because I was like, I don't feel comfortable being around you knowing that I took someone off a vent who was COVID positive, because he was more than 80% dependent on the vent. That feels strange to me. That feels like, are you really being a decent human being, Hero, by like, oh, you're fine, you don't feel sick? I'm like, yeah, I don't feel sick, but I could be one of the worst super carriers of the world. Literally have no signs or symptoms and be full-blown potency to like from me touching people. So my isolation has been pure. Like these last 3 months, if I wasn't me, I'd be thoroughly concerned about whoever is dealing with, because I think this is the first time I've said a word out loud in my house talking to you. Like I've been in the house all day, and it's It's 5 o'clock, and this is the first time I'm saying words. So
I mean, you don't talk to yourself.
I talk to myself in my head. Do people talk out loud? Is that
I talk out loud to myself.
See, if I saw that, I think that was crazy.
I mean, I've been like that since I was a kid. I think out loud to myself. That's probably a better way to say. I process my thoughts out loud because sometimes you need to hear how stupid it is in your ears.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I don't have anything going, because I don't say my ideas out loud. Yeah. But no. Besides that, like, the only other thing that I've gone to go do, I'm now a liberal with a gun.
Hey, so that makes you a JFK liberal.
I'm a JFK liberal. I can still be a Bernie liberal. He's still strong on the Second Amendment. Bernie got hella guns.
He lives in Vermont. He has a reason to. The speed limit on the highway is 85, even in the winter, and there's bear and deer crossing signs everywhere. He needs a gun. He doesn't have a choice. It's a little bit different for him.
But I don't, and I say I'm a liberal gun. I just recently went target practicing. I showed Eric the picture. If I can find the picture, I'll put it up now.
And then put up the picture of the gun that I have. Just make sure the serial numbers are not showing.
Yes. And, that's such a great point. So me.
This is how close we are.
You want to tell the story? Tell the story, Eric.
Okay, so this is about 3 weeks ago. I've been on Hero for months. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, say, bro, you need to go get a gun, bro. You need to go get a gun. And I told him, because he told me he went out to the protest, and I'm like, dude, you're 6'5", you're over 300 pounds. If I was on the other side, if I was a ne'er-do-well, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to shoot you. And what's the procedure with a gun in the face if you don't have one on your waist? You're going to have to take that L. Listen, I was like, Hero, you got family to come home to. The day that I call you and you don't pick up the phone, or I call you and mom picks up the phone and says something, listen, in the afterlife, me and you going to have words. Like, I'm not, that's all because you didn't want to go buy a piece. I'm like, so anyway, we talked about it. I told him, I was like, go get a gun. So he goes to the range. He texts me randomly and shows me this box, and it's a pistol. It's in America we call it a Canik, but it's a Turkish gun. It's a Canik, and he has the exact same gun I have. I have mine in the military. It's called FDE. I have mine in the military brown, and he has his all in solid black. He actually has the upgraded version because he's got the optic ready barrel slide on his. And I don't, but he's got the slightly bigger capacity, even though I just went and bought the 18+1 magazine recently.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I'm in there now, but yeah, we bought the exact same gun, and that wasn't even playing. I was like, yo.
I literally told the lady there was the Glock there was a bunch of, they had dozens of guns. Like there's so much you have to know about the weapon that you're using before you actually pick it up, because I was under the impression that, certain guns had certain fits and feel, but there's a weight behind them. There's a kick behind them. And when I was holding this gun, I literally said out loud, my brother, in reference to you, this feels like a gun my brother would use. And once again, I didn't talk to Eric about buying my weapon because I didn't want to feel like a bias towards it. Everybody that tells me to buy a gun, even Eric told me this, is you don't buy a gun that looks cool. You buy a gun that feels good. So when I shot the Glock and I shot the Canik, the Glock seemed smooth, but the cannon felt right. Like, it didn't feel like, it felt like an extension of my hand. That was the best way of putting it. Like, I didn't feel myself looking down the sight. I felt myself just aiming. Like, and me and you have a certain set of skills because we have these fine tuned skills. Yeah, from surgical, we're a lot more adept to looking down sight, cutting where we want to cut, not looking at our knife or our scalpel or our 4x4s or pickups or whatever to pick up on it. So it's in the natural sense. And because of that, I was able to hit my target 10 times on, and I got a free load of 50 free bullets from the owner. So that was pretty cool.
Run it. I need it. Ammo ain't cheap these days, especially 9mm.
Yeah, that I was kind of, but it's for the a day because like I'm going to go get my concealed handgun license. So I've been decided to keep the weapon there until I've like got the certification to actually carry it. There's no point in me toting it around. I can't have it in Nebraska. I can't have it loaded. I can only have it loaded in my house if I don't have my concealed carry.
Yeah, that's not fine. I'd rather have it home loaded than I would at the range. But I mean, yeah,
no, for sure. But once again, it's one of those things where it's like you set guidelines and principles. You got to be a man of your word. You set up principles and guidelines, follow those principles and guidelines. Like no one's gonna knock you for being a man of your word.
Nah, not at all. And again, you pay for it. It's in a safe place, and if you need it, you know where to go and get it. So the main thing is that you have it, and the thing is, I'd rather have it and not ever need to use it than to be in the other situation, because that situation is uncomfortable.
After like training with it and seeing it, the people who truly neglect their firearms are truly disgusting people, and I get why. Like you'll hear the stories of the guys who have their guns and someone's stealing their car and they shoot that person and they get sent to jail, and it makes sense now in retrospect. Like before I knew it was wrong, but now it makes sense to me why it's wrong, because that it's not an equal punishment.
No,
you have insurance, you have the ability to maintain safe physical distance. There's no immediate that weapon is literally supposed to be used when you have no options left.
Yeah.
Like there's not even a fair burden for warning shots. There's no such thing as a warning shot.
Nope.
If you want to give a warning shot, this is I have to the guy's name escapes me, but he told me, he's like, I'm not opposed to putting two bean bags shots in the 12 gauge and firing those off, because if you do that, that shows intent that, oh, this is a warning to you, my friend. This is me not wanting to end you, my friend. This is me giving you a chance to surrender. Yeah. Then the next one is going to hurt. Yeah. So like there are steps and protocols for you to do in order for you to protect yourself. But when you see people who don't do that, it automatically makes you worry about their overall mental capacity to do this, their overall care about human life, and if they should ever have owned a gun in the first place.
Yeah, and I think that's the bigger point. I really didn't intend for this to turn. I don't want it to turn into a gun discussion, but just to end this and see how you're doing. I think you're completely correct. There are people who really need to be evaluated prior to buying a firearm, and there are a lot of loons out here, especially right now, this whole gun grab thing. People are panicking, and what I realize is, after going to the range and seeing these people who just bought guns, most people have guns, and listen, they wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Listen, they couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a baseball bat, bro. These people are terrible shots. And if they were maybe 5 feet from you, they could hit you any further than that. The first couple shots probably going to miss. If they hit you, it's really a coin flip. You got a better chance of rushing them and taking the gun or getting in a more advantageous position. But yeah, if you own them, be responsible. Keep them in a safe place. If you have to keep it loaded, make sure you have a safety. Don't buy a gun with no safety unless you don't have it round chambered. And make sure that your kids can't get to it. Nothing like that. Be an adult with it. No, practice with it. Know what you're doing. But anyway, my man, what's going on with you? Tell me how things have been.
Man, so this is the last week of summer school for me.
Hey.
I got some big decisions to make. Like, there was a part of me that was like, why should I be paying rent? Just go home, wait till interview season's over, and stay in Chicago. But I guess it's like the worker in me. I want to be able to keep making income. For every dime I make in the stock market right now, it's a fluctuating market. I finally am starting to close in on that $400 gap. I have a video coming in about my first $600 loss in the market, but like I'm starting to close in on that gap. But there's a part of me that is like saying, okay, interviews for certain schools have been shut down. Some schools don't know how they're going to interview. I have a short list of places I want to go. Obviously, Chicago's on the list. Texas is on the list. Utah, is on the list, and that's because I just really fell in love with Salt Lake City. That was the last city I went to before coming here to Nebraska. Vegas is on the trip. Colorado's
Vegas,
on the trip.
Colorado.
I'm really trying to, because like the next place I go, I bought a house in DC because I thought that was where I was going to be. Like that ended up not working out the way I wanted to, but that's my level of commitment. As soon as I get to the spot, I'm looking to buy a house. Like me and my brother and sister, we started an LLC. So we're buying houses in these cities right now as we speak, and we're trying to build that chain of wealth. We have two houses on this LLC, and I want to be the third one on there. So we're trying to build on this and get it rolling. PA school. I've also decided to not just do a surgery stint. I think it's super important for me to also do a primary care stint.
Yep.
I want to be able to like say the fact that I would be able to say that I can see young African American men or women and give them that representation they're always looking for. In surgery, whenever I see my surgeons, they're always going to be asleep. I mean, my patients, they're always going to be asleep.
Yep.
So they don't know me. They don't know that someone was there having their back. I think seeing someone like me initially makes people feel comfortable. So I want to do that. I think it's important. I think COVID is going to continue to be something that's super like relevant and to the point. So I think me having a primary care physician assistant's background, even if it's minute, just to understand that part. I don't really like that aspect of it, but I want to be able to say I can do it.
Yeah, that means a lot. You know, we've talked about it before, but I have a surgeon that she used to work with me quite often. I don't see her as much anymore. And I asked her this question. I was like, why don't you think more black people are in the medical field, especially in the surgeon's capacity? And this is a liberal white lady in her 40s, and she told me, Eric, because you don't see anyone black doing what you're doing. It's like we only become what we can imagine, and if you don't see it, then how do you know that you can do it? And she said there's a rare few people who can rise above that, but for the majority of us, that's not true. It just doesn't happen. And I was like, and if she has good enough sense to be able to recognize that, then we as a group of people should have enough sense to know that if we're going to get into a field and we want to affect some change in that way and diversify the representation, that we have to grind hard, just as hard as anybody else, do the work, and then be there so that the young people or the people who didn't even know it was a possibility can say, oh, this guy's not any more special than me, then I can hop in too. And low key, if I get cool with this dude, he can help me shorten my learning curve and avoid some obstacles that he ran into, so it's a bit easier for me.
And I'll definitely give a shout out to Dr. Marani. He's an Indian man, but he's our liver surgeon out here, and he was ecstatic when he first met me, because I told him like, oh, he's from Toronto, so he knows Dr. Shaft, Kashefji, and all of them, and I was just like, yeah, I worked with them with DVOP, and he was just like, wow, like that TGH is like so well known. For it to be like a Toronto hospital is internationally known. And he was like, so he just had to push away. He just had to push on, like, so what are you doing? Like, what are you gonna do with that? I'm like, oh well, I'm trying to get in PA school. He's trying to keep me out here. He was straight up. He said, I'll talk to whoever you want me to talk to. Like he was like, it brings me joy to see someone of your tenacity and capability trying to be more, like, especially now. I feel like if you're trying to get into the medical field, or if you're trying to do anything, like, let's take into consideration that the Rona has derailed a lot of things, and we're not going to discount the mental mental deflux that is had on people, and just the financial burdens, all these things, horrible things happen. But we've now reached a point where you can say you're plateauing, because you're starting to get your footing. You can get beat up in the first 2 rounds, but that third round, you need to start bobbing and weaving. You need to start returning the jabs. And I think like that's what I've started to realize at this moment in the pandemic. All right, I'm no longer concerned about certain things. I'm still obviously concerned about the disease, but how am I going to fight in this pandemic to start getting bigger, better, and faster? Yeah,
I think this is a time that's kind of made me and my wife sit down, and we already had forward thinking ideas, but the situation actually made us make a faster pivot than we anticipated. It made us be more aggressive with our businesses, our savings, our investing, and that's what the path I'm on right now. I've been, and Hero knows me, I've been on a serious, the last 2 years, I've gotten really serious about learning how to trade foreign exchange, commodities, and that's where I'm at. And I finally have a legit system that I'm comfortable with, that's very, very, very predictable, and I'm getting my feet wet, and I'm stumbling here a little bit, but I got to get iron out the wrinkles, and once I put this crease in, it's a wrap, man. Like, I've got money set aside. I'm gonna dump it in the market, and I'm gonna get busy. And my goal is to walk away from my job in 6 months to a year. Once I get to that point of comfortability, and I know it's gonna happen. But if I didn't have this situation come to make me reframe and refocus, I would have just limped along with the life that I had, because I make pretty good money. I make comfortable money. That's what I'll say. My wife makes comfortable money. Her business does very well. And she's a personal trainer. She has private clients. She works at a boutique fitness place, and she has a network marketing business that she's successful in. So, she brings in almost as much money as I do with my full-time job. And so, at some point you got to think about, how do you help as many people as possible? You got to have that time, or you got to have the position and a certain niche skill set that is extremely coveted in order to be able to convince people to come and listen to the information that you have, so that you can help them go farther faster than you did. Hero and I are in our 30s. You know what I mean? I'm going to be 34 in October. Hero's going to be 32 in September. So, we're at that point in our life where we've got a lot of things figured out. And I think, like to what you were saying, once we get our feet set in the place we want to be, it's going to open the door for so many people to come behind us.
No, absolutely. And we're literally we're writing our history as we speak, but that's neither here or there. We can go on and on, but that's basically what the catch up is all about. So, Eric, do you still know how to do this? Do you still know how to close us out?
Yeah, man. Listen, it's like riding a bicycle. So, we've got so many more places now that you can find us. So, listen, Spotify changed the game. Shout out to Joe Rogan for getting that $150 million. So you can catch us on Spotify. We definitely on YouTube. We're obviously on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on Last FM, Google Play, which is now completely integrated in YouTube. So it's the same thing, YouTube Music. So we're all in the same thing now. But yeah, that's where we are. And you can find Hero at Wakanda's First Hero on Instagram, and you can find me at the Incline Fitness, the Boy Wonder. I forgot my password today. I don't know how to reset that. So,
Like I said, you can catch him in the comment section. But this has been the catch up. This is the identity booth, and our goal is to constantly try and identify with you guys as you identify with us. I hope we were able to accomplish that. It's good seeing my boy back, and we're gonna have a few more videos coming out. I'm definitely gonna hold him last here for a little bit. So y'all stay tuned. Take care of yourselves. It's been a blast. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Oh my goodness. I hope all of this is a production.